January 2009 Care for cows in Vrindavan twins born to Radhika. The saga of Sadhu. New admissions. Care for cows in Vrindavan. CFC trustees Vraja Mohan Dasa Hayavalabha Dasa Amit Thulani Rakesh Rahira patrons Radha Jivan Dasa Suresh Vajiani CFC staff Kurmarupa Dasa Dr. J.P. Lavanya Kesi Nisudana Dasa Braja Gopal Dasa, Switzerland, Laxmi Rupa Dasi, Denmark, Jagannath Dasa Isani Devi Dasi, Holland, Siam Hari, Vijay, Ramu, Santosh, Mithan, Sukumar. Editor. Kurmarupa Dasa. Care for cows in Vrindavana is inspired by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Milk is compared to nectar, which one can drink to become immortal. Of course, simply drinking milk will not make one immortal, but it can increase the duration of one's life. In modern civilization, men do not think milk to be important, and therefore they do not live very long. Although in this age men can live up to 100 years, their duration of life is reduced because they do not drink large quantities of milk. In Kali Yuga, instead of drinking milk, people prefer to slaughter an animal and eat its flesh. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his instructions of Bhagavad Gita, advises Goraksha, which means cow protection. The cow should be protected, milk should be drawn from the cows, and this milk should be prepared in various ways. One should take ample milk, and thus one can prolong one's life, develop his brain, execute devotional service, and ultimately attain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As it is essential to get food, grains and water by digging the earth, it is also essential to give protection to the cows and take nectarian milk from their milk bags. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Purport to Srimad Bhagavata August 6, 11 Jayasri Guru. Jayasri Gopala. Jayasri Gomata. CA-ReferCows.org. Care for Cows in Vrindavan is a charitable trust registered in India, USA, Holland, and Switzerland. When Radhika and Janardana arrived at Care for Cows, we searched the internet for information on Nilgai, Boselaphus tragacamelus. There we learned that Nilgai, also known as blue cows/bulls, are the largest antelope in Asia and have been exported to Texas. We read that while the females can conceive at about 2 years of age, the males cannot impregnate until after they are 3 years old. Our orphaned young antelopes were bottle-fed at least 2 liters. The twins searched for the other twins born to Radhika of cow's milk daily for 1 year and grew healthy, and to date have never been sick for even a day. At about 15 months old, Janardana started mounting Radhika, several cows, and even cowherd men. However, we dismissed it as that behavior is also seen among calves at 3 or 4 months of age. In any case, when Radhika started to get plump, cries of doubt would arise owing to the information we obtained on the internet. Some would say, Janardana is too young, while others would comment that Radhika was just eating well. Our Nilgais arrived in mid-September 2006 when they were about 2 weeks old. That makes them 28 months old today. The gestation period for Nilgais is the same as cows, 10 months. How could they conceive if they were only 18 months old? About 2 months ago, one of the cowherd women felt movement in Radhika's swelled abdomen while grooming her. About a week ago, her udder became visibly swollen and flushed bright. With all doubt gone, we now prepared to greet her offspring. Early in the morning on January 17, she went to a secluded place in the Goshala accompanied by 2 cowherd men and sat down and delivered twins. She welcomed human assistance and very dutifully licked her calves clean. The great blue bull who defied all statistics by siring the twins at 18 months old also arrived to witness the birth of his sons. It was a happy occasion, and after the twins were cleaned and nursed, several cows arrived to welcome them into the herd. Most of the day the twins share a private pen with their mother, but often they sit in the barnyard taking in the morning sun or nestled in a mound of hay. Could it be that the reason Radhika and Janardana conceived so early was due to the abundant cow's milk they ingested during their first year? Janardana the Great, the youngest blue bull sire known to man, Madhurya Lila, welcomes the infant Nilgai into the herd. Sadhu. Upon arrival, Sadhu came by bullock cart from the village of Kiki Nagla, where he suffered a leg injury, more specifically, a broken tibia. One of the villagers took the time to fashion a cast from rope and bamboo, but as most casts on the tibia, it had gradually fallen below the fracture and was ineffective. The 1-year-old bull was carefully unloaded, placed in the recuperating ward and fed. His well-crafted cast was removed and his wound was cleaned. Examination revealed that there were several bone fragments that needed to be removed. Dr. Lavania arrived the next day and after examination decided Sadhu should be sent to the Mathura Veterinary College Hospital and treated by Dr. R.P. Pandey, who has developed an effective method of treating the saga of Sadhu Pushpa and Braja Savaki above. Sadhu arrives by bullock cart to be treated for a fractured tibia. Sadhu has turned out to be one of the most peaceful and equipoised patients to date. Shortly after his surgery, Robin Bangoer from the Netherlands joined our Life Adoption Program, LAP, and volunteered to sponsor Sadhu for his whole life. A fixed deposit has been made for this purpose. Dinatarine Devi fractured tibia by inserting a steel pin through surgical procedure using radiology. Dr. Pandey, assisted by 2 other veterinarians and several students who sterilized all the instruments and cloth used in the surgery. Together they labored for 2 hours to get the pin in the correct place. Since the fracture was a longitudinal split, it was a complicated case. Their dedication was inspiring. Sadhu is an inspiring patient. During the whole ordeal of examination, shaving, radiology, injections and the surgery, he remained cooperative and calm as though confident that we were all trying our best to help him. He was completely equipoised, not questioning why his leg had been broken, why he had been brought to the hospital, why he was being operated on, or if the operation would be successful. He was aloof and peaceful during what is no doubt the greatest crisis in his life so far. He traveled well in return to care for cows where he is recuperating thus far without complication. Sadhu recuperating Ermintrude and Daisy may produce as much as 454 pints more each year than cows with no names. In a study involving 516 dairy farmers in the UK, Dr. Catherine Douglas and Dr. Peter Rowlandson at Newcastle University found that treating cow as individuals also increased production. Those cows with names had an average higher milk yield of 454 pints, 258 liters. Dr. Douglas said, just as people respond better to the personal touch, cows also feel happier and more relaxed if they are given a bit more one-to-one attention. Many farmers dote on their cows and have long thought that such interaction helps, but it has never really been tested. The statistics were significantly different for those cows with name. There was nothing else which could explain it. The study found milk yield to be lower on farms where cattle were herded as a group. Nearly 2/3, 60%, of UK farmers said they knew all the cows in the herd and 48% agreed that positive human contact was more likely to produce cows with a good milking temperament. Almost 10% said that a fear of humans resulted in a poor milking temperament. Dr. Douglas said, our data suggests that on the whole UK dairy farmers regard their cows as intelligent beings capable of experiencing a range of emotions. Placing more importance on knowing the individual animals and calling them by name can significantly increase milk production. Maybe people can be less self-conscious and not worry about chatting to their cows. Dairy farmer Dennis Gibb, who owns Eachwick Red House Farm near Newcastle with his brother Richard, said treating every cow as an individual was vitally important. They aren't just our livelihood, they're part of the family, he said. We love our cows and every one of them has a name. Collectively we refer to them as our ladies, but we know every one of them and each one has her own personality. Cows with names produce more milk in the news. Hello, my name is Maharani. Note, I have been told by cowherd men in Mexico that cows produce more milk if one sings to them during milking time. Swiss dairy farmers have found that milk production increases when music is piped into the cowshed. New admissions: we were alerted about this lame bull about 2 weeks ago when he was sighted on the Shatakarav-Rindavan highway. His left rear leg has been amputated below the knee and he has a hard time moving about. Because of the present construction along the highway and the thick vegetation bordering the many trenches, we were not able to find him until a week ago. Some local people helped us load him on our truck and he is now staying with us in Sundrak. He is very gentle and passive and very happy to be here as he no longer has to struggle for his quota of food. He is about 4 years old and stays with Madhu and Radharaman, who are also amputees. Left is a young female calf who was brought in from Caitanya Vihar. Her right ear has been mangled by dogs she has to compete with while scavenging for food in the garbage bins. She is happy to be here and has adjusted quickly. Left is a young, anemic female calf who was brought in from the Vidyapit area. She is frail, timid, and emaciated. Below is an orphaned 4-month-old female calf from a neighboring village. Her name is Shampak Lata. New admissions right is a year-old female calf who has an injured rear leg. Several small bone fragments have been removed and the wound is now free from pus and healing well. Below right is a year-old spotted bull who admitted himself one afternoon during feeding time. None of these kind are sponsored. Anyone interested to sponsor them have the right to name them. Akhil Singla Ala Nikolaeva Amit Goswami Anatolij Dorogadin Anna Leonova Anna Mityashina Anne Marie Felinarika Vedasyan Area and Vijda Atanu Dasa Bharat Jasing Hani Braja Savaki Dasi Brihatslok Dasa Chandramukha Dasi Chandrika Pasupati Damodar Mahajan Deepa Janardhan and Devala Dasa Devender Kumar Dipankar Deb Dominic Bletz East Hartford Temple Eka Gopi Philip Karganjia Garan Gapri Dasi Gottfried Rainer Heimwati Greenberg Hams Avatar Dasa and Yogamaya Dasi Iris Kalkman Isani Dasi Jagannath Rao. James Moore Jason Wright Jayadeva Bozyahanava Dasi John Foot Katarina Polonsky Kathleen and Jason Hopkins Keshvara Priya Devi Kesi Hanta Dasakin Palikins Yardanti Kirta Seth Kitri and Rita Crush Deepak Laban Galatika Dasi Lilia Tonava Lisa Kubis Madhava Dasa Mariana Polinsky Michael Meshuris Mun Komer Nira Rishi Niraj and Kisarai Nishant Vashist Nityananda and Dasa and Kapadayashi Padme Samhava Dasa May cows stay in front of me, may cows stay behind me, may cows stay on both sides of me. May I always reside in the midst of cows. Hari Bhaktavila 16.252 The cows send their heartfelt thanks to those who assisted during January 2009. Thank you from the cows Panakantalal Pragati Vaid Purnama C Dasi Rabin Bango Arada Jivan Dasarada Mohan Savak Rada Patti Dasarahul Rohini Sudha Dasarus Yuan Sasameda Dasi Sarah Needs Wiki Secretly Young Spirit of the East Swan Ng Subashtanija Sukania Venugopal Sumant Nagpal TK Chayadri Tale Vidal Tatiana Gainanko Tatiana Leonova Tusta Krishna and Stephanie Vedanta Krit Dasa Vera Elizarova Vidyazagar Lakand Vladimir Ivanov Vyasipada Dasa Yajanavika Dasa Yulia Chernyiva